Hello everyone, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So I am Anubha Sharma, your UGC NEET mentor, and today I am going to share with you all my own experience, and I'm also going to share my whole book list and strategy so that you can qualify this examination. So if you are completely new to UGC NEET English and you don't know what this examination is, what its pattern is, who can apply and what the syllabus is, which books you should read and how should prepare, then this video is completely for you. And in this video, I'm going to share with you all a realistic approach or my own journey, realistic journey, how I qualified this examination within 6 months, not through any coaching. I have not joined any coaching, by my self study. So let's begin our lecture. First of all, we need to know what this examination is. Many of you might be aware of this, and if not, then I am here. So UGC NEET stands for University Grant Commission. Okay, and National Eligibility Test, that NEET, NET, National Eligibility Test. So National Testing Agency, that is NTA, this is the conducting body on behalf of University Grant Commission. So exam conducted twice a year, usually in June and December. So the examination determines eligibility for categories such as junior research fellowship, assistant professor and PhD related eligibility. It is completely computer based test. If your goal is to become an assistant professor, pursue research, enter a PhD program or target JRF, so UGC NEET exam can be very important for you. UGC NEET exam pattern. So the paper is divided in two parts, paper 1 and paper 2. Paper 1 carries 50 MCQ and paper 2 carries 100 questions. So each questions carries 2 marks. So paper 1 is of 100 marks and paper 2 is of 200 marks. So total 300 marks. There is no negative marking. Please keep it in mind, no negative marking for incorrect answer. So exam duration is 3 hours, that is 180 minutes, continuous without any break. Mostly you have seen in many examinations, first they would conduct the examination of paper first, then break and then paper second, but in it this is not there. The examination is continuous without any break and there is no negative marking, and language medium is bilingual. Paper 1 is bilingual and paper 2 is also bilingual for other subjects, but if it comes to English, you are the student of English literature, so paper 2 is entirely in English. So minimum qualification and age limit. So master's degree is the minimum qualification, and if you are in final year of your masters, you can also appear. If you have just enrolled yourself in masters, you can also apply for this examination, but your masters should be completed within 2 years. Final year PG students can apply, but must complete degree within 2 years. And minimum marks required, that is 55% in their masters for general category, and for OBC, ST, SC, PWD, that is 50% marks. So JRF age limit, minimum 30 years for general candidate and 5 years relaxation for ST, OBC, SC and PWD and transgender applicants. So, and for assistant professor there is no age limit. Anyone can fill the form and anyone can become the assistant professor, but this criteria is in UGC NET, but in many states examination there is also age limitations for assistant professor examination as well. Papers in the examination, so paper 1 and paper 2. So let's talk about the syllabus of paper 1. Paper 1 is divided in 10 units, and these are the 10 units: teaching aptitude, research aptitude, reading comprehension, communication, mathematical reasoning and aptitude, logical reasoning, data interpretation, information and communication technology, people development and environment, and higher education system. So this is the syllabus of paper 1. Now comes to paper 2. So paper 2 English 10 units, also divided in 10 units, and this is the syllabus. So first unit is drama, poetry, fiction and short story, non-fictional prose, language concepts and pedagogy, cultural studies, literary criticism, literary theory, research methods and materials, English in India. So I will teach you paper 2 complete syllabus on YouTube. So please stay connected to my YouTube channel. Important books for this preparation. So there is Bible of paper 1. You can say master book. Paper 1 is KVS Madan. So this book is very important and one of the most important book for paper 1 examination. And if you want to, actually I have also used this books, that is why I am referring here. So you can also use paper 1 Oxford publication, and for PYQ you can use Arihant or Youth Competition, but also there would be previous year's questions in Oxford publication book, because I have used this book, and in that book previous year's questions was there from 2012 to 2026 I think. So for PYQ you can also use this book. If you don't want to purchase this, then there is no problem at all, but you must buy KVS Madan and Oxford publication for paper 1. Okay, and for paper 2 there is a number of books on history of English literature, but which I used in my preparation is William J. Long. I use this book, and then Edward Albert. Okay, and also Routledge. I also read Routledge, and many aspirant would suggest you to read, or teachers would suggest you to read David's Duchess, but in my point of view this book is not for beginners. So if you want to read that book, read that book after your examination, when you qualify your examination, because that book is very bulky and not for beginners. These books are very good for your preparation. So, and then Glossary of Literary Terms by M.H. Abraham, very important book. Beginning Theory, Peter Barry, very important book. And then Contemporary Literary and Cultural Theory by Pramod K. Nair, very important, must buy. And Outline History of English Language, FTU. If you want, you can use this. I also use this. And for post-colonial literature, I also used a book by Pramod K. Nair. And for Indian History of English Literature, I have used M.K. Naik's book. So if you want to purchase, you can buy this book. This book is very important and also very useful for to prepare yourself for Indian English literature. And this book is also very important. And for Pramod K. Nair's cultural theory book is also very important. So these are the important book lists. Please must read these books so that you can qualify JRF. Let's talk about my own journey. I have qualified this examination while I was in my masters, and I have not taken any coaching classes, and I have not dedicated my 12 hours or 14 hours to this examination, because I was in masters at that time. So along with college assignment, presentations, examinations, I have to my semester examination, along with that I have to prepare for this examination. So I didn't work very hard. Actually I choose smart work. Okay, so for this examination you don't need to work very hard. You need to work smartly. You need to cover the syllabus, and you need to revise as much as you can, because revision is the key. And PYQ is the Bible, as I also said in my previous lecture. PYQ is very important in this examination. So you should start your preparation from history of English literature. Don't follow the syllabus of UGC NET, that first unit is drama. So don't follow and don't start your preparation using that syllabus. You should start with history of English literature. Once you will complete history of English literature, then you have almost covered 40% of the UGC NET syllabus. So when I was in my masters, I decided to prepare for this examination. I was confused. I was looking at the syllabus, and also I was watching a number of YouTube videos. So before diving deep into any ocean, you need to understand how, you need to know, you need to learn how to swim. So this is the very important, this is very important. If you want to start your preparation, you need to know the syllabus. So first, syllabus is very important. So I looked at syllabus, then pattern, divide the syllabus into smaller section, and decided that I would prepare only what actually relevant from the examination point of view, because as I said, I was in my master's, so there was shortage of time. Then I made one important decision. I would not try to read everything. So my biggest help is PYQ. So PYQ helped me a lot, because first I went through PYQ. I came to know what kind of questions UGC have asked and what kind of question they would ask at the examination. And through the PYQ, actually I have analyzed PYQ in very detail. If I dedicated 8 hours for my study or 6 hours for my study, then I made sure that I will dedicate 2 hours to PYQ. So I have read PYQ thoroughly, and I have revised PYQ very much, twice or thrice. So I realized that simply reading literature was not enough. I need to understand how that knowledge was converted into MCQs. So PYQ, previous question is very helpful. And don't ignore paper 1. Sometimes paper 2 is very tough. So at that time, paper 1 will help you a lot. So I give it regular time, and I know those 100 marks could make a huge difference. That is the 100 marks of paper 1. So I covered KVS Madan, and also I watched a number of YouTube lectures from YouTube that is available on free. So I also took help from YouTube. Then revision is the key. So I kept revising important authors, works, chronology, and there is no magical formula. There is no magical formula like read this one book and you can qualify this book. UGC NET syllabus is ocean, and you it is your duty to extract important information from this ocean. So you have studied your graduation, in your post graduation, so you are aware of the English literature, history of English literature. So you have dedicated your 5 years, and so you are very much aware of this syllabus. So paper 1 could be a game changer for you all. So please focus on paper 1. So I walked into that examination knowing that I could not possibly remember everything, but I trusted the preparation I had done. So when the result came JRF in my first attempt, I was really very happy. So if you want to prepare for this examination, please refer these books, and your UG and PG syllabus is very important. Go thoroughly, read smartly, and within 6 months you can easily qualify this examination. But try to be regular and try to be consistent, because consistency is the key and revision is the key. So, and PYQ, as I said, Bible of UGC NET examination. If you want to qualify this examination, must focus on previous year's questions. So this is all about my journey. I have discussed with you UGC NEET exam pattern, syllabus, and important books, and how I qualified this examination. So thanks for watching. If on my YouTube channel I have started teaching UGC NEET English syllabus. So if you want to prepare for this examination, please stay connected, subscribe to my channel and watch my lecture. Thanks for watching.